Good evening, jammers, and welcome to episode 66 of the Jams and Cocktails Alive podcast. I'm Brad Brock, and I'll be your host this evening. Joining me, as always, in the legendary JNC Lounge is the graceful and elegant Ms. Jordan Taylor.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Nice to hear your voice.
Yes, so good to be heard.
Our special guest tonight here in the lounge is the one and only Flint Blade.
Hello.
Well, you guys, we'd like to thank all of you for tuning in live with us tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and JNC Radio. And of course, a thank you to those of you catching the rerun on YouTube and listening in on your favorite podcast platform like iHeartRadio and Spotify. Of course, wherever you're tuning in, please give us a like, follow, and share, and smash that subscribe button. We very much appreciate that. Tonight on the show, while we get to know Flint Blade a little better, we'll also dive into the Jordy Files. We'll get our midweek motivation with Tony Espinosa. We'll play a round of Name That Tune with all of you, tuning in live, of course, and we'll be putting Flint on the hot seat inside the Lipton Tea. But before we get into all that, let's kick it off with our Shot of the Week.
Put a less on the headphones.
Shots. Check, 1, 2.
I can't tell until his loud voice comes in.
Oh, yeah.
My big booming voice.
The wrath of Brad.
Well, you guys, for the shot of the week, we're bringing back a classic. For the shot of the week, it is peanut butter jelly time. That's right. Fun and easy recipe. Of course, it is 1 part Frangelico, 1 part razzmatazz liqueur. Shake in ice, strain into a shot glass, and enjoy. Where we got it over here, Jordan?
We have it.
Yes, you're on it. All right, you guys. Cheers, Flint. Thanks for being here, man. Great to see you.
Thank
Jordan, lovely as always. It's like a sandwich.
It's
What do you
bizarre.
think?
It's all right. I just took a tiny sip.
It's the sweet.
Yeah.
I feel like that is like a peanut butter jelly sandwich that's like in the back of my throat now. That's what she said. Anyway, you guys, if you'd like to join us for the Shot of the Week, pop over to jncpodcast.com, click on the Shot of the Week link to see what we're planning, and tune in on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern and have a toast with us. Yes, that is the Shot of the Week.
Marvelous.
Yeah, it's like eating a sandwich. Oh my gosh.
It's an Uncrustable.
It is like an Uncrustable.
With no bread.
Well, you guys, we're going to dive right into it. He is a staple here on the Treasure Coast entertainment scene, where he wows audiences with his performances on the Chapman Stick and beatboxing. He is the host of Being a Musician podcast and the host of the weekly Tuesday open mic night at Terra Firmata. Check out Flint Blade.
My life in so many ways. I'll stand beside you for all of my days. You light the way, you clear up the haze. I find myself when I am lost in your gaze.
Yeah. Flynn, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, I guess before we get too far into our chat tonight, would you like to wow us with warm us up with a tune?
Sure.
Yeah? All right. You guys, while he gets prepared there, this is Flint Blade. Oh my gosh. What a cool instrument, man.
And beautiful.
Right?
That's nice.
So nice. So I guess we'll dive into it, and we'll start off by talking about the Chapman Stick, which I
have never seen one before. So this is like
Before this
pretty
very moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
besides I cheated. I watched one of your videos, so I had seen it there, but in the flesh, this is the first.
Yeah, I can honestly say I've never seen anything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool.
So give us a little history, I guess, on the Chapman Stick and you know, kind of how you came into playing it. We rarely get to see interesting instruments, and you've brought two very interesting instruments with you tonight. That, of course, being a steel drum and the Chapman Stick. The only other instrument that we had that was really bizarre was Alex Meixner and the accordion. So, yeah, man, tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, the Chapman Stick was invented in 1969, California, by Emmett Chapman, who decided to name his stick after himself.
How selfish of him.
It is what it is, you know?
Right.
Yeah, Emmett is a cool guy. I've actually met him. He's still at it. He's like in his 80s now, and he's still very busy at work operating the Chapman Stick headquarters with his family. So it's like a family operation with probably just like 10 or less employees, I'm guessing. I don't really know the details, but I did visit one time and I got to meet him really briefly. So that was great. And yeah, there's a steady community of Chapman Stick players, like basically on the internet. You know, there's a stick forum website. It's like 8chan for stick players.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a cool thing. So yeah, I guess to me, like, everybody always thinks it's probably a sitar. Like,
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I made that huge mistake the very first time I met you, and I was like, "Oh yeah," you know, like a big ignorant idiot. I was like, "Oh yeah, you play the sitar, right?" You know,
right? It's
totally wrong.
It's funny, like how so many people even like kind of heard of me or something. They know of me, and then they still think it's the sitar, even though like I'm out here like. Definitely not playing. Like, it doesn't sound like a sitar, right?
Not at all.
Not at all. No. But yeah, it kind of looks like that just because it has like so many strings. But it's like one of the only instruments out there that's really not particularly like ethnically linked, which I think is, you know, I think that itself is interesting because like preserving ethnic heritage is super important and valuable. But also, like, this is like an emerging technology in a way.
Right, sure.
It's not like, you know, microchip technology, but it's
Right.
like a different type of technique that became like a different type of instrument for that specific technique. So, yeah, to me, I think it's a very American invention for that reason because it's very pioneering.
Yeah.
Just like, you know,
And it's,
how-
it's really an incredibly young instrument, you know, relatively to
Exactly.
69.
Exactly.
And yeah, like, am I correct in that each string has its own output so that you could run it through effects or anything like that?
There's-
I thought I had read that.
There's the stereo output, so the bass goes out one channel and the treble goes out one channel.
Okay.
So, I can have like the bass clean, and then have some delay on the other side. See what I mean? The bass is still clean. So yeah, it's not every string, but yeah, you can put MIDI pickups on it too. Some people do that, and when it comes to MIDI, then it truly is like individual strings, but
Sure.
it's just sending it to a digital signal.
It seems like it gets pretty chaotic at that point.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten into the MIDI just because anytime I've played with MIDI on a guitar, there's always like this latency.
Sure.
And it doesn't feel like I'd rather play a keyboard or like this type of thing. It's
Right.
instant. It feels like an instrument. It doesn't feel like you're playing something and then you hear something a little bit later.
Exactly.
That's
yeah,
why
think-
I haven't delved into the MIDI on the stick. in
Well,
particular.
there's plenty of things that you could do with with effects and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
I have to admit that I kind of dived in a little bit to the Chapman Stick world prior to meeting up with you tonight, and really saw some really interesting applications to the instrument. And it's so cool that so many people have different takes on the instrument. It's, you know, like you said, it's not one of those instruments that have a very strong cultural background. Right. So it really is a fresh canvas for people to experiment without feeling like they're, you know, taking away from the instrument itself. It's very cool. Even you, for instance, you know, your style of playing is wildly different from some of the other people that I got to check out.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, in a great way, by the way.
Yeah.
So let's dive back in time and tell us about your musical journey leading up to the Chapman Stick and the Flint Blade show that we get to enjoy now.
Yeah. Well, my dad is a musician, and he was always gigging when I was a kid. So I grew up in a musical household in that regard. And I would always be hanging out at the recording studio with him at his studio, like after school, most days, just hanging out at the studio, being a bored kid, because I didn't care about that stuff at the time, but it just was so normal. And, you know, I finally got interested in playing guitar when one of my closest friends as a kid was taking guitar lessons. And so I was just hanging out, and it was just like, you know, just natural. Be like, it was. I remember his mom being like, "Hey, Nick, don't you want to show Flint your guitar? How you play the guitar?" And he's like, "Okay."
We're paying for these lessons.
Right? Show
off your skills.
Yeah. And I did, and I remember hearing it and being like, It didn't sound amazing to me. I could honestly, I had this thing in my brain like I could probably do that better, even though I wasn't doing anything on guitar at all.
Right.
But really, I really remember this moment when I picked up the guitar and I was kind of like just kind of doing like some muted like that on it, just like that. And it reminded me of Jimi Hendrix. I think like Are You Experienced? It's like there's like some stuff going on, and it clicked in my brain. I was like, that sounds like a Jimi Hendrix thing.
You started putting it together, putting the things together. That's cool.
Yeah, and so that's when I started playing the guitar, and eventually, just from strumming some basic stuff, I really didn't get into guitar much. Until I saw somebody playing the stick. I saw Mike Bianco playing the stick back in the day in Fort Lauderdale, and I thought it was really cool. And I still didn't really get what was going on, but my mom became a huge fan and was like watching this guy every weekend, watch this stick player, and so I started checking it out a couple times at the Now Art Cafe. This was in Hollywood, Florida. Mm-hmm. Now Art Cafe was so cool, so artsy and cool with paintings everywhere, and it was just just kind of like a wine bar kind of feel, coffee shop wine bar kind of thing, and very new age feel in there because his Chapman Stick player was very new age.
Sure.
Finally, I got an interest after like a few months of my mom just like always
planting the seed.
Yeah, and putting the CD on, and I liked the music too that his CD had. So yeah, then I asked him if he would like give me basically like tapping lessons. That was what I was interested in. I was like, he's doing two-handed tapping, and that's different from what I know what to do on the guitar.
Right.
So when I got guitar lessons with him, that's all I cared about doing was tapping. I want to play tapping like he does. So he threw me a lot of music theory and jazz chords and, you know, jazz sensibility. He studied from Berkeley, so he gave me a lot of jazz music theory and stuff like that. And I started to learn some jazz stuff too, like on guitar, like some tapping. One of my biggest views on YouTube so far is Take 5, two-handed tapping. Yep. And that was really my turning point of tapping on the guitar. And eventually I got the Chapman Stick and kind of transitioned from tapping on the guitar into playing the stick primarily.
It seems like, I mean, obviously your interest in guitar came because of your interest in the Chapman Stick. So it was a natural progression then to move onto the instrument.
Yeah, because I was into the tapping.
Yeah.
You know, that was the big thing that was in my brain.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you are the first human being I've met in actual real life that plays this instrument.
Yeah.
I've never met another person. So like even, you know, being on the scene here in the Treasure Coast, I've seen your name a million times, thought you were playing a sitar, know a couple sitar players. Stupid me, you know, here you're playing this very forward thinking instrument that no one else I know of, even in the vicinity of this area, is performing on at least regularly, you know, as a gig.
Well, maybe part of the reason why you might not have known it was the stick is because I feel like when I play out, I don't even hardly talk about the stick. Right. You know, some stick players would automatically kind of give a spiel and explain on stage. And I almost said I avoid it because I just want to play the music and like connect with people through the music. But inevitably people walk up and like ask me a question about it. So then I'll talk about it a little bit.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Well, I always ask in our pre-interviews, you know, what your favorite album is and things like that. And you were like, ask me about it on the show because it's a story. So with that, tell us about your influences and your favorite artists and albums.
Well, I think I just didn't know an answer for that. But if I had to pick a favorite song, it would probably be the Talking Heads' Naive Melody.
Okay.
You know that one?
I bet if I heard it, I'd be like, oh, that's that song. Mm-hmm. I feel like the names of their songs don't always equate to like the hooks that you would get stuck in your head. But yeah. But yeah, and just that song or that whole record?
Yeah, actually, the record is great, Remain in Light, but their live concert film I think is great. I like that even more than just the album, maybe.
Sure. That's
just a standalone. You know that album, that concert video,
the live video.
Stop Making Sense. Mm-hmm. That one is classic, and so of course that song is on that video, and yeah, I think that like I'm pretty inspired with music videos and like concert films and things. Mm-hmm. So that is an example of a concert film that just stands out through history. I feel like it's a historical moment.
That's awesome.
That one.
Yeah, man, I do love watching live. You know, I love going to concerts. Concerts are amazing, but there's something to be said about a perfectly mixed, you know, concert tape or concert.
Have you seen that one?
I don't know if I've seen it, but it's on the list now. Now I have to go and watch it.
What they do is David Byrne starts out in the beginning, and it's just him, and the whole stage is completely barren. Like you can see the stone wall against, and like a ladder against it's completely struck. There's nothing on stage except for him in this gigantic stage, and he walks out with a boombox, and I think that's just a gag, and somebody actually turns on the beat behind the mixing board or something. But he has a boombox and he like pushes play and then there's a beat and he's just playing guitar and singing. And throughout the concert, all of the equipment and staging is brought out and staged throughout the concert. Like literally, like they wheel the drummer out on the rising, cool. And everything is just is staged like as they go. And there's a huge crew of people to make it happen. And just like I probably saw it at first like a while ago, and then I saw it again. I'm like, wow, that's what they're doing there. They're actually like constructing the stage like as the show goes on.
That's so far
amazing that they could pull that off, and it sounds and looks great.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So what was the name of the concert again?
Stop Making Sense.
Stop Making Sense. Can you write that down?
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, she's got it. Amazing. So I'm gonna check that out.
Be like one extra musician per song, usually like the bass joins for the second song. So it's like that's how they build it up slowly, but eventually it's just cooking, and they got the backup singers and the percussionists, and everything is just.
I love it, like a constant build.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
really good.
Oh man, well, tell us a little bit about your influences on the music that you make originally.
Yeah, well,
it's a very eclectic sound, by the way. I'm a few of the tracks that I was able to thumb through today, I was like, every track had its own interesting, unique flavor. So carry on.
Well, when you do enough psychedelics, you start to have some funny ideas about music.
Sure.
That's what I assume from the musical influence that I listen to.
Right. living vicariously, maybe.
Exactly. Well, when I first began playing, I think I was really mimicking my guitar teacher, Mike Bianco, with his tapping on the guitar and stick. So like my first album was all instrumental, new agey, kind of jazzy compositions. No vocals, or at least no lyrics. So I was like really leaning on just like what I was learning from him. And eventually I started I think the first song that I like sang with lyrics, that was like really from listening to Within You Without You by the Beatles. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
So like I was kind of jiving on that kind of droney Indian kind of mantra sound.
Sure, yeah.
In some of my early stuff, and then well now I'm working the electronics more, so a little bit of everything, but I love reggae and dub reggae especially.
I feel like that's, at least what I gather, is a pretty heavy influence on your latest record, Sound 2.
Check that out.
I did.
Oh yeah, we heard a track.
Yeah, there was a couple tracks. So we'll dive into that in a minute. But you have a pretty large catalog of original music.
Thank you for noticing.
Dude, I was blown away. I was like, he's got record after record after record. And in at least on your Bandcamp page, it goes back as far as like, I think 2015, 2014. But yeah, man, and just boom, boom, boom. I was like, man, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to listen to all this, but I do want to get through the whole catalog, because it's what's really cool about it is that there is a clear progression of not just you as a musician, but as an artist as well. I feel like you're just collecting all these things, and it just elevates your music through each record. It's like a journey, which is very, very cool, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. But if we talked about every single record that you've done, we'd be here all night, and we wouldn't get through the rest of it.
So let's do it.
Yeah, so let's do it. So let's talk about your most recent release, just last year, Sound 2, Heal the Noise, and of course, being the follow-up to your 2019 record, Sound. Tell us a little bit about that record and releasing it, of course, during a COVID pandemic, like a lot of people have done,
Yes. Well, it started before COVID. I probably would have wanted to have released it like in the beginning of 2020, but just wasn't ready yet. It's just how it goes.
Sure.
But it's a studio recording, so I guess in the sense that I was really just using anything I wanted to in the studio and just go with it. With as many different styles as was coming to me. So in that regard, I didn't have like a preconceived notion of like what it was really supposed to be. I was just kind of going with what I was using. That's how Sound also was like. Compared to my other album, Alive at Home, which was before Sound, that was an album where I just wanted to record what I would do exactly on stage.
Sure.
So like this exactly setup that I would do on stage, I just recorded it off the board.
Right.
No mixing. So that was my way of just being, all right, when people hear me live and they want to have a CD that's like what they heard, I'd be like, all right, this is exactly what you're going to hear like that.
Dude, I'm right here with you, because
we talk about that all the time.
It's actually, for me, it's a project in the works. I have not a ton of studio albums, not as many as you, that's for sure. But I have a few, and they are nowhere near what I do live, even with my one-man band show, it's, so like, I perform the songs and I do them justice. They're mine, so I can do with them as I please. But I try to pay justice to the song. And at least try to meet some expectation if anybody knows the song from a record and comes to the show. But I would like to put together, very, very similar to what you just said, just a straightforward, this is what you just heard at my show, and now here's a record that it reflects that, and you can go away happy. So I think what I'm going to do is just make a record specifically for the shows. And so it won't be on streaming. It won't be anything like that. If you want it, you have to come to the show and buy it off of me, and we'll go from there. But
there you go.
Well, yeah, great minds think alike.
I think if I did that again, which I think I want to actually, I would do that, but I would also multi-track like all these channels that I have so that I could actually mix
and master it. Sure.
Mix and master it. But at the time, I just wanted to do it like very strictly just off the board. So
yeah, it definitely simplifies the experience. Yeah.
But Sound 2 was more just out there, and there was songs from there that was like already written, before I started on that album. And then there was even a song or two that just came to me like right during even the pandemic. While I was still working on the album, I had a song came to me in a dream, nice. and I just put it into the album.
It's awesome.
Just like that. Just exactly how I could remember it from the dream.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes those are the best songs. Like I feel like every record that I've done, I had a collection of songs. It takes me forever to cut a record because like I write songs every so often, and then when I'm like, oh, I have 10 or I have 8, I should probably put a record together. And so I'll do that, and then I'm like, well, I need 3 more songs to make it an LP. Let me and so I mess around with some drums and chording and listen to other records and try to get some inspiration. And yeah, man, I've written probably 2 to 3 songs on each of my records just sitting in the studio. And I always recorded in a home studio, so I wasn't limited by time frames. So just get high and write songs, so. But that's awesome, man. What tracks did you write in the studio from the latest record?
Well, so that song Rain Day, that's like I think it's the last one on the album. Mm-hmm. That one came to me in a dream. Nice. And in the dream, I was with Trinity and a few other friends, and I believe that we were like singing to this lady called Rain Day. This is in my dream. There's a lady named Rain Day, and she's just chilling, and we're all just singing her name to her.
So cool.
Rain Day, 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 just like that. And so I was like, I don't know what that's about, but let's just put it in there.
Now it's a song.
Yeah, because anytime I have a song in a dream, like it's like that's something. If I remember it enough to remember it after I wake up, then it's worth remembering.
Yeah.
After that,
it's definitely special. Dreams come and go, but the ones that linger, it's like, man, I feel like I should probably write that down. Or I always keep like a little journal by my bed, and I'll wake up and jot things down. Even if it's not a dream per se, if it's just a melody that's just in my head, I'll try to jot it down, or a lyric or something like that. But now I just kind of talk into my phone. Go figure. Technology. we live in the future. So in addition to your solo efforts, you frequently team up with other super talented musicians in the area. So tell us a little bit about the collaborations that you've got going on.
Yeah. Well, this Saturday, get early on the Shameless Plugs.
There you
got
go.
A show at Pierce Cider, and that's going to be a 4-piece with Mike on guitar from Man-Made Weather, and Brandon on keys from The Fascinating Type, and also Warren on drums from The Fascinating Type.
No
so
kidding.
it's this will be, I'm kind of breaking into the 4-piece format after doing a trio for a while, and I regularly play as a duo with Tom Holler. Mm-hmm. So we just got a new video out today on the YouTube channel, and I like working with other people. I've done solo stuff like so much for so long, and it's really consistent because I can do lots of gigs like that.
Sure.
And I think there's a lot of people who like my solo stuff, and those types of people might not be as interested in hearing like band stuff.
Right.
But at the same time, when I collaborate, it's going to be a completely different type of outcome that is equally valuable to me.
Sure. Well, I mean, if you're not doing it for yourself kind of first, then it would never be genuine to anyone else. Exactly. So I completely applaud that.
And there's also venues that would never have me as a soloist probably, but, maybe would be more inclined to have a band.
Sure.
So yeah, it always comes down to like just the vibe of the musicians and the personalities and the chemistry, how we click. You know, I think that has most to do with how the music will work together too.
Yeah, we were talking just before the show went live about watching you and Tommy perform together in the videos and in real life, and there's a genuine connection with your styles that work really, really well. I mean, Tom is a beast anyway, you know, and he's a great pocket player, and I've heard him play with a lot of people, and he is always just right there where you need him. But your music has interesting vibes to it, jam band vibes, in a way, and he just follows you and gets right into those grooves, man. And I'm just like grooves that make the hair stand up on my arm, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, that is. I woke her up last night to show her a video, and I was like, "You got to see this." I think it was the one where you guys were on a boardwalk somewhere.
Oh yeah,
and I was just like, "Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now." Really, really, really well done. And yeah, I'm gonna have to pop out and see you guys at least as the duo together one of these days if you guys are still playing together. But
yeah, oh yeah,
yeah, man. Well, moving on from performing. Tell us a little bit about the Being a Musician podcast. I know that was kind of the first conversation that we ever had together, because it was like, you have a podcast? I got a podcast. So yeah, tell us about that podcast, which is very, very cool, by the way. I really enjoy it. I like your delivery and the way that you interact with your guests. It's wildly different from how we do it here. We're a little bit more like morning show, radio show, you know, and your style is very like calming and welcoming, and I feel like you're able to like squeeze these people a little bit, which is in a very comfortable way. So yeah, tell us about why you decided to get into this horrendous world of podcasting, and some of the people that you got to meet through that.
I guess I just had the idea because I noticed I just had a concept for like how I would do it that I haven't seen done before. Mm-hmm. I feel like that works in a lot started in life. Sure. You know, there's something that needs to be done. Yeah. That no one else is currently doing it like that, you know? But it started because my friend was starting a podcast and he wanted me as the first guest. And he was very much like, I didn't even know Joe Rogan at the time, but he was like, you gotta see the Joe Rogan podcast. Sure. I think you might like it. And I would like anything I heard from Joe Rogan's voice, I'd be like, no, not into it. Yeah. I think I just didn't like the way he talked or something, but my friend was like all about it, and he wanted his podcast to be like that. So I did it with him, and after that, that's when I was basically like, I think I could do that better. You know, same thing with the guitar.
I was going to say, I'm noticing a trend here.
Yeah, well, I did it and I supported him for his thing, but I was like, I think I could do that, and I would do it with music. You know, that was so like after like a year or so of thinking about it, then I had one episode with Mike Mineo, my good buddy, and then it was like, until this year to do, then I did it again. Like after the first one, it took a couple years to do it again.
Right.
But now I'm back in the saddle.
Not only are you
slowly
back,
getting there,
but you are back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Like there is episode after episode.
I got 5 so far, but yeah, I want to keep going. I would like to do like once a week, but it's, you know, it just happens whenever we can just make it happen.
Believe me, it's a tremendous commitment. It really is, and so even giving it a shot is commendable as far as I'm concerned, because it's tough lining people up. It's tough creating content. I don't even know how morning radio show guys do it every single day. There's got to be a formula. I haven't figured it out yet, but yeah, man.
I guess like when I think about, you know, I could do that better. Maybe what I really mean is here's how I would do that. You know,
right, sure.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be better than how they did it, but anytime that you're doing it in your own authentic way, it's definitely going to be better than if you were trying to like force yourself into some other kind of way.
Right. No, exactly.
Right.
Completely agree. And to your point, we were kind of like, I didn't even know what a podcast was when I started this. I'm a little old school, and like I listen to talk radio more than I listen to any kind of music radio, just because I get burned out on listening to music all the time. And so like when I'm driving around, sometimes I like to listen to people yap away. And, so I feel like this show very much kind of shaped itself. I took a lot of visual elements from like Joe Rogan and Howard Stern and kind of applied that to the visual version of our show. But as far as content and presentation in audio, it's very much like a morning radio show. So, that was the way we decided to do it. And, it's certainly not standard podcast delivery, but it was very fun to find your podcast.
Yeah.
And it was very fun because I think I was looking for content or looking for information on Sandman Sleeps.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was doing research for their appearance on our show, that's when I came across yours, and I was like, well, let me look at that. And I was like blown away. I was like, it was so good and so just straightforward and with its own vibe. I was like, this is awesome. And the girls sounded great. They're fantastic. So, but yeah, congratulations on getting back into the game and 5 episodes deep now.
Yes.
Is very cool. So keep it coming, man. I know it's tough.
Well, I think what I've been kind of on the fence about is I've been trying to decide whether I should keep the podcast episodes like on my Flint Blade YouTube channel or keep it just on Being a Musician YouTube channel.
Right.
'Cause Flint Blade already has 300 subscribers.
Sure.
So why would I all of a sudden try to like put energy into getting subscribers on this other channel? But
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna let you in on a curve going around that curve. It was really tough to balance. It was really tough to go in because, I had followers on my music page and I had way more followers on my Facebook page, which is where this all began for us. YouTube was an afterthought. Podcasting on the podcast platforms was an afterthought. That was somebody who was like, you should really put this, I was always learning by somebody saying, you should do this, you should do that. And I was like, maybe I should. Best decision we ever made was to brand it on its own and really kind of give it its own life, because then it's very easy to separate what you decide to do creatively, musically, and then what you've built in your podcast. It doesn't have to be this synonymous thing all the time. It kind of grows and becomes its own thing. It has its own life, and which is challenging because then now you're trying to do you, and then you're also doing this. But it's rewarding in a lot of ways because people. It's just another way for people to discover you in a hosting situation versus I'm out playing music. Now come to my music page. I'm not going to show you music today. Now we're going to talk about somebody. We're going to talk to somebody else about music.
Right.
And
we have doing some collaborations in the podcast too, which is cool. Some of the episodes have been collaborations with the guests.
Oh yeah, I saw one with Joe Tierney. That was actually a very good one. Very cool.
Sweet Butter Joe.
Sweet Butter Joe. I think he was supposed to be on our show a few weeks ago and wasn't able to do it, but I have him back on at the end of May. So very excited to have him on here. But let's talk a little bit about your open mic night at Terra Firmata. You've been doing that for quite a while now, and it seems to be, from what I hear, pretty successful, pretty cool people coming out there, and it's a good vibe. Good vibe.
Yeah.
Oh. Who's that?
Who's that? Who's that? Yes, Terra Firmata open mic every Tuesday. I love it. Come on out, everybody, because it's fun.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well,
how long have you been doing that? Actually,
it's been I guess it's been 2 years,
Yeah,
like 2.5 years now, I think. when I first got the gig, that was like what I wanted. I had a friend who I told him repeatedly that I wanted to be the host of the open mic there. Not that I wanted to like steal anybody else, because Deal James was doing a great job.
Right.
And they really had a heyday like when he was the host there.
Sure.
But also it was a different beast because he was hosting and you had Jonathan doing totally high grade professional sound for the open mic too. I'm doing both in one.
Sure.
But yeah, whenever I would go to open mic, I was like, man, I think I even told them too. I was like, if you guys ever need a fill-in, I'm your man. And then finally, when times go by, they needed a host. And he was just like, hey, Flint, do you want to be the host for open mic night?
Well, only for the last 2 years.
Yes, I do.
I told my friend that I came home to my roommate and I was like, hey, man, guess what? I'm going to host open mic now. He's like, you're kidding. Really? That's what you wanted? It's like, yeah, exactly. So that was cool. That was like one of those manifest, moments.
Sure.
In a way.
Planted the seed ages ago, and then it's come to fruition.
Yeah. So I've been doing it, and I love it. That's one of those things where it really is. It's a lot of work.
Sure.
Because I'm doing a lot of work for other musicians instead of like just focusing on my own music per se.
Right.
But it gives me lots of opportunity to collaborate and connect with other people and like have a social life, that in that way. So I think that's what keeps it going for me is the fact that I enjoy doing that stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have to pop in. Tuesdays are usually they're like my teacher planning days,
Your teacher workshop.
Yeah, my teacher workshop day.
I think that's their day too.
Your teacher
is
Tuesday.
But if I get all my work done, I could go out and have a teacher's cocktail day. Yeah. So I definitely want to come and check that out and see the guys at Terra anyway. I love them over there. It's a cool spot. So what is next musically for Flint Blade?
Pierce Cider on Saturday in Fort Pierce, Florida.
on tour to the fort.
Yeah.
You mentioned that was with the guys from Fascinating Type.
Yeah.
And Forgive Me.
And Mike.
Mike
Yep. Made with her.
Yeah.
I got some recording going on. Got some concepts for new albums, and I got some recordings in the meantime that'll probably be like EP or singles. And this summer I'm gonna hit the road again for the first time since
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go up to play in Kentucky at Playthink Festival.
Nice.
That's gonna be like a flow festival where they have flow arts like hula hoop and poi and yoga and things like that, and a music lineup. And so I'm going to perform with that, and that's going to be great.
Nice.
Oh, man.
I'm excited to be getting out of state again.
No kidding. And like getting back into festivals.
Yes.
Just is tight.
Exactly.
Awesome, man. Well, you guys.
I have a question from the chats.
Okay.
Paul from Drums and Rums wants to know, are those regular guitar strings or what's the deal?
The strings for the Chapman Stick
Yes.
are custom made, and you get them from Stick Enterprises because the scale length is as long as like a bass guitar, and the skinny strings in a regular guitar strings are not that long, so they won't quite reach.
Okay.
I do have a question. One more question, and then we're going to get you to perform here. 'Cause we got some people asking in the live chats, which is awesome.
Yes, they're ready.
The bass notes, I know, are they octaved in any way, or is that how they sound coming acoustically off of that machine?
Yeah, it's just the range goes all to a low B, like a low B on a bass.
That's so
5-string bass.
wild. It's very cool. It's awesome. It's so I'm fangirling a little bit over here because I've been like, ever since we booked this date, I've been like, man, I gotta see this in real life. I gotta see this and up close. So with that being said, coming up next, we're gonna take a peek inside the Jordy Files. But how about another tune from Flint Blade?
All right. Turn off some electronics for this one.
Right.
That was a new one, Lifter. That one's on YouTube today with Tom Holler on the drums.
Yeah, I was listening. I was like, man, I feel like it's very familiar. It's a very familiar sound.
That's the brand new one.
Yeah, because I just listened to it just before we went live. Yeah. Awesome,
good.
man.
Thank you.
Love it.
Well, very, very cool. So, you guys, each week, Jordy Bo Bordy takes us on a whimsical and oftentimes hilarious trip through on this day music, history, celebrity birthdays, departures, news, and gossip in her very own segment we call
The Jordy Files.
The Jordy Files. I like that. Do it again.
The Jordy Files.
Awesome.
You're replaced. Brad.
I took your line, dude.
That's okay. Take it
It was good.
because Flint can do it better.
True. Truth. Truth hurts.
What's up, Jordy?
Oh, not much, Bratty.
All the Bradys of the world are like, it's not bratty.
Gosh.
What you got for us tonight?
Oh, so much good stuff. So we will dive right in. So today, April 21st. Can you believe it's the end of April?
I don't even want to
Already?
think about it.
It happens
honestly.
so quick nowadays. So we have some birthdays in the house. Today, Queen Elizabeth is celebrating her 95th birthday. And because I've been watching The Crown, I'm a little obsessed. So I threw in some tidbits about the Queen. Did you all know that she has been the Queen of England since 1952?
Since before the Chapman Stick was invented.
Yeah, that
Golly.
golly gee willikers is right. And that there has only been 6 female sovereigns.
In history and
It just
ever.
period exclamation mark really in my notes. Yes.
Wow.
And the Queen's grandmother, Queen Mary, aged 81, was the first queen to see a grandchild ascend to the throne,
Wow.
which is kind of cool.
Very neat.
And say what you want about the royal family, but Queen Elizabeth has brought forth a bunch of firsts for the royal family. So I think that's pretty cool. And then today, in 1947, Alan Wagner was born. He was a member of the British soul band The Foundations, who scored the 1967 UK #1 single, Baby Now That I Found You, and the 1969 US #3 single, Build Me Up Buttercup. They were the very first multi-racial group to have a #1 hit in the 1960s. And then, also born today in 1947, so birthday twins, is American singer, songwriter, musician, and actor James Osterberg. Did I get that?
I guess you're reading it.
Okay. Okie dokie. Does anyone know this legend's famous stage name?
Any idea over there?
James Osterberg.
Nope. Anybody in the chat? Let's send you a cookie.
A cookie. By the time you get it, it'll be aged to perfection.
Like him in 1947. Oh my God.
I can't believe he's that old, to be honest. So he is better known as the one and only Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop.
Yes.
Oh, James.
And then Nicole Barkley was born today in 1951. She was a member of the all-female band Fanny, who were active in the early 1970s. They were the first notable rock group made up entirely of women.
Didn't we have a thing about them just recently?
Yes, I believe her bandmate might have had a birthday as well.
Oh, we
So
did get an
they
answer.
are- did
I
we?
guess because we have a little bit of a lag here, but James Bustle said Iggy Pop.
Oh, nice.
So he's on it. Good job.
You get a cookie.
You get a cookie.
And then The Cure frontman Robert Smith was born today in 1959. The band had a string of hits, singles including Love Song and Friday, I'm in Love.
Nice.
Interesting. Next birthday, John Mayer, not to be confused with the guitarist John Mayer, is celebrating a birthday today. He was born in 1960 and was the drummer for English punk rock group Buzzcocks.
What was the name of that band?
Did you just want me to say Buzzcocks?
I did. I just wanted to say
Buzz.
Buzzcocks.
Local country artist Tom Jackson is celebrating a birthday today as well.
Nice. Happy birthday, Tom.
And then some on this day music knowledge. Today in 1982, the Clash frontman Joe Strummer disappeared for 3 weeks, which resulted in the group canceling a tour. He was found living in Paris.
Nice.
Yes, I'm glad they found him.
Yeah, really.
And then, I mean, but
Not sure he wanted to be found.
I was
but-
going to say, a good place to run away for
Really?
3 weeks, I guess. And then in 1984, Phil Collins started a 3-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart with Against All Odds. It was his first U.S. #1, and it was #2 in the U.K.
Nice.
So, yes.
My boy Phil.
Yep, killing it. And then today in 1990, Paul McCartney performed for 184,000 fans at the Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, creating a new world record for the largest crowd attending a rock concert.
Nice.
Yes, and also in 1990, on this day,
I mean, it would be Paul McCartney that would draw that many people.
that is true. If he can't do it, no one can. And then, oh gosh, I always ruin this name. Sinead O'Connor. No, Sinead.
That's pretty good.
Sinead
Don't question
O'Connor.
yourself.
Was it right?
Sinead
O'Connor.
Sinead O'Connor.
Sorry, everyone. You struggle with it too. Started a 4-week run at #1 with her mega hit "Nothing Compares to You." Jammy Jam Jam for sure.
Yeah, which I believe was written by Prince, right? I believe Prince wrote that song.
If you have to ask. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, you are correct, Brad. And then today in 2013, Calvin Harris made chart history, becoming the first artist to have 8 top 10 hits from one studio album. The record was previously held by Michael Jackson, who had 7 top 10 hits from the albums Bad and Dangerous. So
Well, at least Michael Jackson did it twice.
that's true. That counts. And then in 2000...
I just want to say that Paul from Drums and Rumps says, Jordan, nothing compares to you.
Oh, stop it. You're just too kind. Same to you, Paul. In 2014, Robin Thicke's controversial hit single, Blurred Lines, was named the UK's most downloaded song of all time.
Go figure.
Yeah. And then
I think it was all taken away from him. I'm pretty sure Marvin Gaye's family sued and won.
Oh.
Yeah.
He didn't see that coming, did he?
Maybe not.
He didn't take that into account.
Maybe not.
Ugh, poor thing. And then the following year, in 2015, AC/DC drummer Phil Rudd pled guilty to a charge of a threat to kill in a New Zealand court. Wait, what? Pleaded guilty, not pled, pleaded guilty to a charge of a threat to kill in a New Zealand court. Rudd was apparently unhappy about his album launch party and asked for a former employee to be taken out. Air quotes.
Quote unquote.
Scandal. And then in 2016, Adele was named Britain's richest ever female musician.
Yeah, I imagine in the beginning of her career, she probably garnered a substantial amount of wealth. She's
she was like British royalty for a little bit there.
Without being royalty.
Yes, true. Ha.
Worldwide royalty.
That's true.
Outside of even Britain.
From Britain.
Yes.
Yeah. Anywho. So that is it for our On This Day. And then we have to mention some departures. In 2000, Neil Matthews of the Jordanaires died of a heart attack. He was a vocalist on Elvis himself's songs Don't Be Cruel and Hound Dog. He worked with other notable artists such as Patsy Cline, Tom Jones, and Merle Haggard.
Merle,
sorry. The accent.
Yeah. that strange accent.
That Midwestern accent coming through.
Sure.
And then in 2008, American soul singer Al Wilson passed away of kidney failure at the age of 68. His hits included Snake in 1968 and Show and Tell in 1974. In 2016, Lonnie Mack, a pioneer in the virtuoso rock guitar soloing, passed away of natural causes. And of course, last but not least, in 2016, a huge blow came to the fans of music worldwide when the artist formerly known as Prince passed away at the age of 57 years old.
Oh my gosh, that was on today, huh?
And it doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
Yeah,
2016. That's a minute. Yeah. He recorded more than 30 albums, including Purple Rain and Sign of the Times.
Almost as many albums as Flint Blade.
Yeah, you two combined. Yeah. And that concludes the Jordy Files.
Jordy Files.
Prestige worldwide.
That's what I felt. That's
Yeah,
how
I
it
felt that moment. I feel powerful.
Awesome.
Thank
well
you
done,
all.
Jordan. You get another one.
Thank you, and thank you, Flint.
And another one.
You're welcome.
Well, you guys, if you love the Jordy Files, binge them all at jncpodcast.com. The time has come to put Flint Blade on the hot seat.
I thought he was going to lip sync for his life.
Oh, no. For this rapid fire interview inspired by the late, great James Lipton, host of Inside the Actor Studio. This is Inside the Lipton Tea.
What does it have to do with Lipton Tea?
We sip some while we ask questions.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Are you like looking at the bottle caps to see what kind of?
Oh, yeah, underneath.
Exactly. Welcome to Inside the Lipton Tea. I'm Brad Brock playing the part of Mr. James Lipton. I'm here with Chapman Stick aficionado and talented entertainer Flint Blade. Flint, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Flint, what is your favorite word?
Go.
What is your least favorite word?
I don't want to say it.
Don't make me say it.
You don't want to say it? Is it it?
Yeah.
Do you know it in sign language?
If I if I had to choose, schmegma.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one.
That's why I didn't want to say it.
Don't make me say my least favorite.
Flint, what turns you on?
Music.
What turns you off?
Know-it-alls.
Sorry. What sound or noise do you love?
Music.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Ooh. I can't stand the sound of a dull pencil on a stack of paper.
A dull pencil.
On a stack of paper. Can't stand it.
Oh, it's so weird. I don't even know if I could put that sound into my head right now.
If someone's in the room, like if you had that notepad and you were using a dull pencil to write on it, I would be like, hopefully I wouldn't hear it.
Oh man, you got like that sonic hearing. No wonder earlier Flint was like, "Can you bring my headphones down?" Every time Brad talks, I feel like I'm getting a pin in my ear. And this is one of everybody's favorite questions. What is your favorite curse word?
Dang.
Dang. Do you ever hyphen it with "dang it"?
No, I would have two different words.
What words would they be?
Dang it with a space.
With a space, no hyphens.
No.
Hyphens are for punks.
Yeah.
What profession other than your own would you like to try?
Like if I wasn't a musician?
Sure.
Acting.
Nice.
Yeah.
What job would you not do under any circumstance?
Ooh. Like I don't know, like cashiers and like just, I don't know, cubicles and stuff.
One of those
Wouldn't want to be in that world.
yeah, that seems pretty soul sucking.
Yeah.
Except I've seen some cashiers that are the most
They're really nice.
yeah, just the most wonderful, full of life, loving people. It makes me
No, you know what? I would be happy to be a cashier depending on the store.
sure. Yeah.
Like if it was a really cool shop that was like, I don't know, interesting things and the types of people that came in really cool. But if it wasn't, I wouldn't want to be like just at, I don't know, Dillard's or something boring like that.
Oh,
Steinmart.
Dillard's is our number one sponsor, so thank you for losing that for us. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe they're going to give us more.
Maybe.
Oh.
And finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hello,
Yeah.
welcome. We have all the kombucha you can drink. We've got some of the finest ganja. Welcome to heaven, Flint. All your musical idols are ready to jam with you.
And I would want it to sound exactly like that.
Yep.
Nice, man. That was a fun one. All right. Well, coming up next, we'll put your knowledge of popular music to the test in a round of Name That Tune. But first,
Oh, no.
how about another song from Flint Blade? And it is a special edition of Name That Tune. So I hope you all are prepared.
Oh dear.
So I'm going to play first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only if you're ready.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet, yeah. Make you wanna move, your dancing feet, yeah. To the rescue, here I am. I want you to know ya. Can you understand? Sunday morning, gather the rainbow. Want you to know I'm the rainbow to the rescue. Here I am. Want you to know ya. Can you understand? I'm a rainbow.
Awesome.
A little bit of Bob Marley right there for you.
Love it.
Very, very cool, man.
You have so many tricks.
Haha.
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
so
just
cool.
when you think you pull out all your stops, I didn't even see
I didn't either.
is it a melodica?
Just blends in right there in the
it
dark.
does.
It does.
Very, very cool.
Is that what that's called?
Yes, melodica.
Oh,
I got
fun.
1 point for Brad.
You know one instrument. Good job.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, you guys,
Awesome.
we invite all of you tuning in live to play along with us by putting your guesses in the chats and comments. We're looking just for the song name tonight because we're doing things just a little differently. Tonight's category is wildly famous songs performed on a Chapman Stick.
Oh boy.
So, are you ready for this?
So I'm gonna name that tune.
You're going to name that tune. I actually,
And they're Chapman Stick songs.
and they are Chapman. Well,
Okay.
they are popular songs covered on a Chapman Stick,
Oh, okay.
instrumental.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have a whiteboard behind you on the on that platform, and so what we'll do here in the lounge is we'll be writing our answers down here, while of course you answer in the chats and comments. So as soon as Flint gets situated over there, he's got a lot going on. You guys, we'll get your first clue to you. All right.
All right.
In this
This should
lovely game we call Name That Tune. All right. First answer.
He's got a
correct.
smile. He's got a smile on. Yeah.
Love it. All right, you guys. First clue coming at you right now. These are interesting, so just listen close, and hopefully you can get it. What does it say? I love tacos.
I'm being disruptive.
Oh
Did you have tacos yesterday?
I have them most days.
Perfect. Here's the first clue, you guys. That's all you get.
I know what it is.
All right. Just write it down on your board, and we'll give them a little bit of time to chime in here on the chats.
You should have me figure out who's playing. Then I would be really impressed and get some points with the Chapman Stick community.
If you're challenging yourself, don't let me stop you.
Yeah. Put it
Get
on
it?
there.
Yeah. I know the names. I mean, at
Okay.
least I would recognize them if I saw them. I could easily look it up too. Here it is one more time. And Linda nailing it.
Yay. Then.
That's right. That's right. Linda, it is Imagine. James, it's not Johnny Lenny. If
Was I
you're
supposed to put my board up?
Yeah, go for it.
I got it right.
You got it right. What about you, Jordan?
I did.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
recognizable.
A soft
Did
one.
you put an artist? Or no, not that
You
one.
know,
Okay, I'm guessing that was either Dave Tipton.
not Dave.
Okay, was it Greg Howard?
It may very well have been Greg Howard. Hold on, let me see if I can see.
Oh, that's funny. Perhaps.
Oh no, it's not telling me. But I will tell you that Greg Howard is on this list.
Okay, he's
It
one
is
of
on
the
this
top
list.
players.
Good to know.
James must be doing like voice to text because he said Johnny Lenny, but he meant John Lennon. You are correct, my friend. Drums and Roams says, are all the answers Flint Blade? Acceptable as far as I'm concerned. Here's the next clue. Little clue, we're sticking in that vein. Here it is one more time for your listening pleasure.
You were inverted. No one alerted you.
Still don't know it. Oh, wait.
Jordan. That was the biggest hint ever.
Was that Bob Culbertson?
Maybe it was. Does he also go by Robert?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's who it was.
I think he has one of the most views of any Stick song ever. Pretty
Yeah?
sure with that song.
No
Pretty
kidding.
Sure.
Maybe it's one of, yeah, because I did a search. I tried to find some at least ones that I thought were very good. Not Landslide. That is not right.
That's where I was leaning to.
Did I get it
You're
right?
leaning for landslide? Yeah, you got it right. There's a little
Am I
delay,
close?
so you're on it.
Really?
On it completely.
Nice.
It is. Jordan did get it.
I didn't. I have Blanco.
All right. Ready for the next clue?
Yes.
Okay. Here. Oh, they want it one more time. Here it is one more time, drums and drums, even though we already gave you the answer.
Just so you can.
Oh. Are we waiting till the end or something
For what?
for the answers?
No, no.
Okay.
If I said that there was anything formal about the show, it'd make me the biggest liar of all time. We really kind of make the rules up as we go. We put guidelines out there, but it doesn't matter. Here's the next clue. Aha. I saw the light go off.
Yep.
But then yeah.
Here it is one more time.
That's Greg Howard for sure.
It is Greg Howard.
Yep.
That's a fantastic instrument, man. It's very, very cool. As I said, like
It's very soothing.
it's interesting to see how people use it in such unique ways and the way that they affect them, and very, very cool. Drums and Rums in with the win, and Linda. It is, of course, Time After Time.
Wow.
Oh man, I had time after timers.
Wrong. It's wrong. What'd you have, Jordan?
Old timers. I had a blank.
Oh, come on, Jordan.
I can draw a flower.
That's very pretty. All right, you guys. Here's the next
Yeah,
clue.
like a dodo.
Next clue. Not Fleetwood Mac. Didn't play it yet. Here we go. Here we go. This was a good one. This one might be a little tougher. That one went on forever. I thought I put the whole song on there. I was like,
and we got nothing.
nothing? All right, here it is one more time. Drums and Rums already on it.
Oh.
But, Paul, it's not the sun. It's the other one.
Moon.
Thank you, Jordan. We're winning kindergarten.
Oh yeah.
But it is the
Okay.
police.
Yep. Walking on the moon.
Moon.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
You know, I only would have known that song because of being on the Chapman Stick forum. I already saw that guy make that post. Hey,
No, no
look,
kidding.
here's a cover song I did, and I listened to it. I wasn't familiar with the song, but I was like, I think I've listened to that one before, and then I checked out the original.
Right. Yeah, I've heard the song a million times. So as soon as like he hit that bass note, I was like, oh yeah, that's great. It's awesome. Drums and Rose says, you want the moon? Please don't show me the moon. I know where you're going with that, Paul. All right, here is the last clue for Name That Tune. It's a classic. Here it is one more time for Jordan, because
Oh, I think I spelt it really wrong, but it's okay.
phonetics don't matter
It's
here.
a tough word.
I know what you mean. Drums and Rums, man. He's all over it tonight. It is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. What do you guys have here in the
Man,
lounge?
I had Bohemian Rap Soda.
Good enough for me.
I like that.
I was close.
I just made it cursive so you couldn't tell that I really
good.
spelt
You did
it
a good
wrong.
job.
Yeah.
James, it is Queen. Well done.
Tough words.
Yeah. Nice.
I
All
have
right.
a random question.
Prepared
you-
for a random
and-
answer.
And maybe Flint will know, but I don't know. Are there like theme songs to TV shows that use the Chapman Stick? That you like popular shows? Because I feel like it kind of sounds like but maybe it's other instruments because I don't really know. I don't really be knowing. But
Seinfeld?
yeah. Okay, so is that because I was thinking Seinfeld or Frasier because I kind of get them mixed up. I don't know which one, so it must be Seinfeld. And then I'm thinking like Law and Order SVU. You know, the like dun 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 dun.
I think Seinfeld is just a bass. It's just a slap bass, I think.
Oh, okay. So it kind of sounds similar.
There's like not too many songs that have the Chapman Stick in the mainstream like at all. But there's a couple.
Okay.
Like there's a couple Peter Gabriel songs that have Chapman Stick.
Oh, really?
It's just not very prominent, but it's there. You know, like if you really started picking, you're like, oh yeah, okay, that's it.
Interesting.
Drums and Rum said Night Court. Maybe not. All right, well.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, not bad to know. Cool. All right, guys, let's draw a raffle winner for some JNC swag. Jordan.
Oh my gosh, you remembered this time.
I know.
And I forgot.
I actually made a note this time.
Oh, good
So
job.
how many did we have this week?
We had Trace. We had 3.
3? All right.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we are going to have Flint Blade at the end of this drum roll. Pick a number between... Or pick a number 1, 2, or 3. Not between, because then it would be 2, right?
True.
All right, here we go.
1.
Number 1. Linda. Linda's our big winner.
Woo.
I feel like Linda's won a few times. I have to like make her a basket now, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. All right, you guys. It's time to get motivated. So leadership coach Tony Espinosa gives us a little something that we need to get us through the rest of this week. So take some notes. This is your midweek motivation.
Brock, how you doing, brother? What's happening? Jams and Cocktails Wednesday night. Jordan, what's up, darling? How are you? I miss you, crazy kids. Hopefully, life will tune down a little bit here soon. Coming into summer, I'll be able to make it back in the studio. But I'm here. I miss you. I love you. Wednesday night, get your drinks. Cheers. I'm about to make a cocktail myself. So I've been challenging myself, especially with these Wednesday videos that I'm doing for you. And even when I was in studio, I never really knew what I was going to say. I tried to kind of feel how things were going, how the night was going. So I don't plan these out. I try not to plan anything out. I've been a firm believer lately, and I can't remember who quoted it. I don't think it was Winston Churchill. I think it was maybe one of the Roosevelts, one either FDR or his Uncle Teddy, one of those two cats. But someone quoted and they said, always be preparing for your impromptu moments. And I'd like to believe that I've been challenging myself over the past few years, taking on this leadership coaching role and mentorship role, and the changes I've made in my life, that I like to think I'm ready for any impromptu moment. So when it comes to these videos, I'm not sure what I'm going to say until I turn on the camera. So 20 minutes ago, I was out to lunch and I was having my taco, enjoying it. It was delicious, and my margarita, and that was delicious too. For my what's it called? My plug for the week. Poppy Chulos in Tequesta, delicious. That's my shameless plug. Poppy Chulos in Tequesta, so good. Best I've found so far living in Florida. Best Mexican food I've found living in 25 years in Florida. It's the best I've had. So anyways, I'm at lunch and there was this gentleman sitting across the bar from me. It's a small little bar. There's maybe 10 feet from one side to the other. And it wasn't too crazy busy, so I could hear everything he was saying. And after a minute of listening to him ramble, he was just complaining about, like, I've done this and I've tried this and all these different businesses he's tried and all the times he's failed. And he just seemed, it just sounded like he just gave up too soon. So I just said, excuse me, I don't mean to interject, but may I? I said, I've been listening to you talk, and I said, this is kind of what I do. I'm a leadership mentor. I help people find their way and give them, advice on how to get to that next level. It's just it's what I do. I'm not the greatest at everything, but I'm good at this. I said, so that last business you were trying, who did you talk to? Who mentored you? Who trained you? Who showed you how to do it? He's like, oh, no, I just bought the equipment and, got the licensing and the insurance and went to work. And I was like, well, how do you know what was to get done? How do you know how to mix the chemicals right? How do you know how much water to use? How to cover the plants? How to bid the job, the driveway, the roof, the wall. It was a pressure cleaning business that he failed at. And he was like, well, I just Googled it. I asked friends. I knew people, that know stuff about it. I was like, but did you go knock on the door of the most successful pressure cleaning company on the Treasure Coast and give the owner $100 and say, may I borrow 30 minutes of your time? I'm interested in breaking into this industry, and I know you're the best in the business, and I would just like some advice on how to get started. Did you do that? Did you do that with any of your businesses? Did you find the best in town doing that business and offer him, can I buy you lunch? And here is $100 for 30 minutes of your time. I've spent over $1,000 on people that I know that I need information from. I know you're the best at what you do. Here's $100. Let me buy you lunch. I know you don't want it, but take it because it makes me feel better that, and it's more of a business transaction. I'm not just mooching off you. I want to some of your knowledge. I got 100 questions written down. I'm ready to go when you are. It'll take me half an hour of your time. Can I have 30 minutes of your time? Your biggest tool for growth is surrounding yourself with the people that are doing what you want to be doing. Get the books. Find the best in town. Do the research. You could Google Yelp reviews. Any review you want, you could just spend an hour, 2 hours looking into that industry, looking into that person. If you want to be the best basketball player in the world, who would you call? I can only assume to call Michael Jordan. That's all I can assume. If you wanted to get into computer programming, I would hope you would call up Bill Gates. Find the people that are doing that's going to be the biggest tool you can put in your toolbox is getting the knowledge from the people that are doing it. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't trailblaze. Don't sell yourself short. Just about every industry somebody's already started. There's not much that mankind hasn't thought of yet, except for these clowns that are doing YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, you're making money, but no one respects you. Sorry, that's all I got to say about that. But get the people involved in your life that you need to get to the next level. If you want to be a musician, you call Brad Brock, right? So just surround yourself with those people. That's how you get to the next level. No one great did it alone. No one great did it with any research. So whatever it is you're working on, it doesn't matter what the industry is, what the hobby is, what the job goal is, what the dream is. Seek out the people that are already doing it and surround yourself with them. Engulf yourself with them. Go to seminars, read their book, knock on their office door and be like, I need your knowledge. Can I borrow some of your time? A lot of these times, they might love that initiative so much. I know people that have landed vice president positions, assistant to the vice president positions, assistant to the president position, just because they knocked the door saying, I want your knowledge. You're like, how about better yet? I hire you at $100,000 a year to work for me. I'll give you 5 years to learn everything you can, and then you can be on your own. You never know what door is going to happen. But until you step out your comfort zone and seek these people out and take their knowledge and load these people into your toolbox so that when you need them, they're there, their knowledge is there, and you have it at your disposal, now you're making changes. Now you're getting to the next level. Now you're moving those mountains that have been blocking you from stopping you from becoming who you're supposed to become and doing what you want to do. So load your toolbox with the people that are doing what you want to be doing. Master that. Learn their knowledge. Don't be afraid. Knock those barriers down that are holding you back. Quit being scared. Knock on those doors. Meet those people. Put them in your toolbox and you will get to the next level and you will thank me. And I love you. Brad Brook. God bless. Jordan, I'll talk to you soon. One love. Peace out.
All right. Tony Espinosa. Yeah, man, we tapped on a good thing. It's really good to build your tribe and learn from the people you surround yourself with, and more importantly, finding people that are doing the things that you want to do and learn how they got there and then get yourself there. So another good message from Tony Espinosa. Be sure to check him out on social media and on TonyEspinosaLeadership.com. Coming up next, we'll hit you with all of our shameless plugs. But first, how about another tune from Flint Blade?
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, this one's going to be the opening track from Sound 2.
I really love that tune, man.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was one of the ones that I picked for the opener, and you released. I'm not sure. Did you just recently release a video for that, or a video of you performing it?
Yes, you're probably thinking with the fire dancers.
Maybe that's the one.
Yeah, I have a video of fire dancers, and it starts with that one.
Oh man, great, really, really great song.
Thanks, man. That was another one actually that came in a dream. Kind of cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong message. Something like we were talking about. You definitely don't want to miss messages like that come out. So, and kudos to you for taking those messages and then putting them to music. And now it's out there forever, which is kind of the point, really, right?
Exactly. It just resonates on into the universe.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, the time has come to go around the room and talk about all of the fun things that we've got coming up. So without further ado, Jordan, what do we call this?
This is Shameless Plugs.
That was pretty sinister there.
Thank you. Stepping it up.
Well, you guys, we like to open the floor to our guest of honor here tonight. So, Flint, give us all your shameless plugs, all the things you got going on. What do we need to be looking for, man?
I think I got a shameless plug, something like this.
There you go.
Shameless plug.
And he's got shameless jokes.
Yeah, so this Saturday I'm playing at Pierce Cider in Fort Pierce, 6 to 9 p.m. It's a free show. I got my full band. It's a shameless plug. Come on out and see the band.
Yeah.
Pierce Cider. Woo!
Boop, boop.
I'm at Terra Firmata every Tuesday for open mic, and everybody's welcome to sign up and play their tunes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming out.
And definitely, you guys, I'm going to have to shameless plug for you because you got to go and check out not only Sound 2, but the entire catalog of Flint Blade music. It's so good. And as I said, going from the beginning and coming to where it is now is a complete journey. And I'm stoked for you, man.
Thank you, man.
Awesome. Yeah.
I guess I'm in the... Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Calm down, everyone.
I really want to push the YouTube page also because I'm
sure.
putting out stuff on YouTube constantly. So YouTube/Flint Blade. Check it out.
Yeah. And also check out the Being a Musician podcast.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, before I jump too far into my own shameless plugs, we did get a guest shameless plug from our podcast alumni and good friend Kev Ohm, plugging a very cool show that he's got going on down in West Palm. So without further ado, take it away, Kev.
Hey, it's Kev Ohm here with the shameless plug. I'm doing a silent disco home show this Sunday, and it's going to be a unique experience where I'm going to be playing through headphones, and we're going to do a little guided dance movement before that. So it's just going to be an overall cool event, awesome way to spend your Sunday. I'm going to be trying out some new stuff. You're going to learn why I call myself Kev Ohm if you come to the show. We're doing limited capacity, so reserve your ticket now. Link's in my bio. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Kev, man, you really impressed me. I guess, as he mentioned, of course, he's putting together a silent disco type live show. And I thought that was very cool. I think it's cool because we kind of do something similar here. It's just a very much more intimate for me because we get to listen to all of you guys perform through headphones, and it really is a unique experience. So go check out Kev Ohm, KEVAOHM, and of course you can see his episode in our past episode list. So anyway, moving right along, I have my own shameless plugs. Of course, thank you all again for tuning in live and catching the reruns on YouTube or iHeartRadio and Spotify. Again, please show us some love by liking, sharing, subscribing to, and following our pages. It's the single most free thing that you can do to help us out. Go check out our Patreon page. It's a subscription-based fan club that helps us reach our goals financially while providing our patrons with exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, extended podcast. We do our JNC After Dark, swag bags, and more. So check out the link to our Patreon page and help support our show in a big way this year. Do want to give a massive shout-out to our sponsors and partners. At Code Rum, Hop Life Brewing, Treasure Coast Entertainment, Snorkel Corn Entertainment, The Sneaky Tiki in downtown Seward, Todd and Laura at TC Nightlife, and our friends at Drizzly. So support local when you can. I've got a few one-man band shows coming up this weekend. Tomorrow night, you can catch me at Manatee Island in Fort Pierce. I'll be there at 5:30 p.m. On Friday night, I'll be making my big return to Tequesta Brewing down in Tequesta, Florida. On Saturday afternoon, I'll be at Costa de Esta Beach Resort in Vero Beach at 2 p.m. And rounding out my great big work week is Sunday at the Farmers Market in Hobe Sound. I'll be there at 11 a.m. Just doing my thing. So come out and check out a show. Of course, you can see all my dates at bradbrock.com. Also, go check out the all-new JNC radio station. We play a mix of hit songs and local Treasure Coast favorites, plus themes throughout the week. And, of course, the Jams and Cocktails podcast breaks in each Wednesday night at 8 p.m. for our live show. Yeah, I love that thing. Now I'm going to have to get one.
Yep.
You can tune into our station on the very free Live 365 app, or just visit myjncradio.com and click on the player to start listening. Be sure to check out our friends' podcasts. Paul Robertson, who's been tuning in tonight from Drums and Rums. You can also check out a very new podcast from Ben and Hector of the Killbillies. They just launched their own South Florida music podcast called the 561 Music Podcast. And they are just, I think they're at 4 episodes now. So it's a super fun podcast. And of course, I'd be remiss if we didn't mention Being a Musician podcast hosted by Flint Blade. You can check them all out on your favorite podcast platforms. This has been my Shameless Plugs.
That was pretty quick, Brad.
I know.
Look at you.
I'm getting through them pretty quick.
Very good.
Well, you guys, as we are winding down the show here, did you have a good time, Flint?
Yeah, buddy.
Awesome, man. We really did. And as I mentioned, yes, I'm going to say you are a Chapman Stick aficionado, but you are so much more talented than that. You have such an array of talents up there, and I mean, even down to the melodica, which really impresses me. And the steel drum really impresses me too, because it's a drum that I love, and an instrument that is very intricate into a time of my life when we were doing rounds in the islands and things like that. So thanks for bringing that. Thanks for bringing everything. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Well, I don't know if you have one more up your sleeve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah? All right, you guys.
Sweet.
We're going to get one more from Flint Blade, and then we will bid you adieu.
I'm going to play one called Let It Shine. Inside each and every one of us is a flowing fountain of light. Let it shine, yeah. I said inside each and every one of us is a flowing fountain of light. Let it shine, yeah. Let it shine all of the time, all over everything you do. Let love guide the way, let it brighten up the day now. Let it shine, let it shine, yum da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 yum da 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 ba da dum. Let it shine, yum da 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 da. If you're lost in the dark and you can't see, if you're shivering in the cold night, turn up the heat. You've got a fire burning
inside. You gotta stoke it till it's burning up bright. Shine a light. Let it shine all of the time, all over everything. Let love guide the way. Let it brighten up the day now. Let it shine.
Awesome, man.
Thanks, you guys.
Very, very cool.
So good. That was excellent.
Right. So good, man. I'm so the whole.
You're the most positive songwriter too. I feel all of his songs are so just like so happy and boppy.
Yeah,
I
for
love it.
sure.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
And just positive vibes,
Yeah.
man, and really, really, really dig what you do. Have to make it out and see you in your various setups. We'll definitely make it a point to do that. But yeah, man.
Yes, sir. We'll
Yes.
get you. We'll get you on the Being a Musician podcast sometime.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time. I love not having to push buttons.
Yeah.
it's so good. Well, you guys, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I certainly hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Give it up one more time for our special guest, the amazing Flint Blade.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes, yes. Of course, my partner in crime, Miss Jordan Taylor.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. You're all too kind.
Hey guys, next week on the show, we'll be joined by singer-songwriter Monique McCall, so be sure to tune in for that. Until then, don't do anything that I wouldn't do, so jump out of that plane, capsize the sailboat, and drink rum with a stranger. Broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge, I'm Brad Brock. Good night.
But wait, those are all things you would do.